The Alabama Conservation Enforcement Officer has been on the front lines of conservation for over 100 years in Alabama. The first wildlife conservation laws to regulate hunting and fishing in the state were introduced in 1867. In 1907, the Department of Game and Fish was established, and the first officers were appointed as state game wardens. The newly created game wardens were the first state law enforcement officers in Alabama. These officers helped change the course of Alabama's natural history. The commercial exploitation of Alabama's natural resources was at its height in the early 1900s. The foresight of conservationists and state legislators to enact hunting and fishing laws, along with the dedicated service of the first conservation officers, made an impact on the abundance of wildlife and natural resources we enjoy today. Due to the vision and dedication of these early pioneers in conservation, Alabama's diverse ecology remains intact. Without the stewardship of present-day conservation enforcement officers, many of the state's natural resources would face the same peril that existed in the days surrounding the department's founding. Greed and the illegal commercial exploitation of many species are the driving forces that motivate officers to stay abreast of the latest law enforcement tactics. Today's conservation enforcement officer is highly trained and relies upon covert investigations, advanced digital technologies, aerial surveillance, and forensic science to ensure our natural resources are protected and conserved for future generations. While the enforcement of Alabama's game and fish laws is the primary function of current conservation officers, they do much more. The Alabama Conservation Enforcement Officer is a sworn officer of the state of Alabama who provides vital public safety services far beyond what the average citizen realizes. They are trained and equipped first responders during natural disasters, search and rescue, and active shooter situations. They maintain a constant state of readiness to assist other federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies when called upon, regardless of the need. The ability of conservation officers to deploy into any situation throughout the state and meet the needs of its citizens is unrivaled. Whether by boat, airplane, ATV, or on foot, the Alabama Conservation Enforcement Officer is here to serve the citizens of Alabama. In addition to their law enforcement duties, conservation enforcement officers teach hunter education courses, firearm safety classes, and volunteer with numerous youth organizations. They are committed to public service, which is expressed through countless hours spent volunteering at youth hunting and fishing events, archery competitions, or with their local youth sports teams. These officers not only serve their communities, they are an integral part of their communities. Being an Alabama Conservation Enforcement Officer is not just a job, nor is it a career. It is a calling. Honor, duty, valor.